Hey, welcome Bishop Kenny students back for a second edition of Mr. Doherty's Neighborhood. Today we're going to start our lesson on hands-only CPR. Hopefully you've had a chance to tune in and look at some of the videos I've sent. Obviously some of them are meant to be funny but also informative. The Ken Jeong video I think is pretty hilarious, but it gets the point across. We are all working to have students understand the importance of hands-only CPR. In addition to, later this week, I'll post a video utilizing an AED. So today, I want to introduce you to my mannequin. This is Mr. Doherty Jr. And so we're basically going to go over the steps that you would utilize if you were in a situation where hands-only CPR needed to be done. One thing we always want to caution people when doing these type of activities are, if you're ever in that situation, we want to make sure you understand that we need the scene to be safe. Okay? If a person is laying out in the street and they just got hit by a car, we don't need you running out into the situation and then possibly becoming a second victim. We need you to understand that we need to make sure the scene is safe so that you can assist the other person. Basically, when we come across a situation where CPR is needed, I'm going to work with hopefully other people who are involved and available in the situation. The biggest thing we need you to understand is, one, your safety, and two, activate emergency personnel. In order to get the help to arrive, you've had to call them and say, hey, we have an emergency here and I need your help. With the advent of cell phones, that makes it a whole lot easier where you don't have to send somebody to call from somebody's house or a neighbor or something to go get help. You usually will have a cell phone with you in most situations. When we do this, we're just going to simulate it. So basically, as we go through this, I want you to understand that later in the week, this is going to be your assignment. You are going to film yourself activating 911, performing CPR, and in addition, we'll probably have the AED introduced also. So if we have to, we'll push the AED to next week. Maybe this week we'll just focus on the hands-only CPR. The reason we've gone to the hands-only CPR is, one, the contact between other people who you aren't related to. Perhaps you find somebody hit by a car and they need CPR and you're like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't feel comfortable putting my lips on their lips, so we just eliminate that altogether. We're understanding that in our bodies right now, we have enough oxygen that we can keep the brain healthy if we just manually move that oxygen throughout the body. So you are, when you are doing the CPR itself, the movements for the CPR, you are providing the pump, your heart, to move the oxygen to the brain. We want to make sure that we keep the oxygen going to the brain so we don't suffer brain damage and the like in that. Understand, once the scene is safe and you've activated 911, you're going to continue with the CPR into two things. One, exhaustion, you can't go any further, then you'll stop doing it. Or two, emergency personnel arrives and they take over the situation. And that's what we're all hoping for. Okay, so we'll do a quick little demonstration. One is I want to tell you, first off, where we're locating our hand placement. Okay, you're going to find your sternum in the chest. You're going to go up about 3 fingers. You're going to put the palm of your hand on it, and then you'll lace your other fingers in there, and then you'll place it on the chest. Okay, 2 things we have to make sure. One is we go down far enough, and 2, you let it come up. You have to get that suction pulling the blood. So we need to go down and come back up. So in the olden days, we used to just count. It would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, you can still do that. That's fine. Now they brought it to, if you watch Ken Jeong's video and some of the other videos, it's going to say to the beat of Staying Alive. The Bee Gees had a wonderful song. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. That's the basic beat to it. Okay? So, hand placement, interlocking fingers, there. Now, understand. I have body mass. I can easily push down on this pillow. And you will be able to also. Biggest thing is we need to make sure that we're getting a good push on it. Now, when you're doing it, you want to make sure that you get your shoulders and weight above your arms. You can't be leaning away and pushing like this. I'm not strong enough. I need to get over on top of the body and push it. Now, also we want to make sure when you do it, I'm using my trusted pillow, okay? There's no legs. There's no head, okay? So as I have that there, I can't stand on this side of it because the person's legs would be there. So make sure you're standing to the side of it. Understand, I'm right-handed. I usually like to keep the head to my left, put the hand right there and do it. So once it would start, I'd be like, staying alive, and just go to that beat. Okay, it's basically 100 beats per minute is what we're striving for. Okay, now we'll just go through the whole situation as if something were happened and I'm able to help them. Okay, I'm going to step away from the screen for 30 seconds, just grab my cell phone. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, I come across a situation where a person has fallen ill and needs help. Now, as we spoke on earlier, we aren't giving the rescue breaths. It's hands-only CPR, which is a great thing. Most times, CPR you're going to be given is probably going to be somebody that you know. Okay, so you're going to probably be more apt to jump in and help out because it's somebody you care for, somebody you love. Okay, so in this situation, I come across the body. Okay, now, is the person sleeping? Are they resting? Whatever. So I have to determine, are they in need? Okay, I tap them on the shoulder. Are you okay? Are you okay? If I don't get a response, I'm going to quickly tilt my head, look down, and listen. I don't hear breathing. Okay, then I know I have to do CPR. So the first thing I'm going to do is once I determine that there's an issue, hey, grab my cell phone, call 911. Hey, 911, we have an emergency at this address, and I'm going to keep my cell phone open so that you can give me instructions or just keep the system monitored. Okay, so then I would, once I locate, tell them where I am, tell them my name. They're going to ask me to stay on the phone. I'm going to say I have to initiate CPR. I'm going to put the cell phone on speaker and set it right next to here so I can hear them. Then I would quickly locate my hand placement. If I want to, I'd take the shirt off, but in this situation, we're going to leave the shirt on, and I'm just going to start my CPR. Okay, and I'm going to do it until I'm exhausted or CPR or people come. Okay, when I'm doing that. Now, great situation. Let's say, for example, I'm in a school situation or a building, okay? In our school, where do we send? Who do I go to? Okay? In our school, we have many AEDs in the building. I think we counted them. I think there are 8 of them in the building. So if you are in our school after school, where could you find them? Well, the field house has one. The gymnasium has one. ROTC has one. They're usually there late. Okay, the nurse has one. There's one up on stage. Okay, so there's probably one in the cafeteria, I think. Okay, so they're spread out around the school, AED. So the next time you walk around the building, you see one, hey, just put it in your mental thinking cap and say, okay, here's where it's located. Because if we have one of those situated also, we could probably get that going, the AED going, before CPR arrives, or the medical personnel, okay? So if I had that situation, I'm going to, one, make sure the scene is safe, tap the person on the shoulder, determine that they're in distress, look, listen, and I don't hear breathing, activate 911, hey, I'm going to use my cell phone, and I turn to somebody, if someone else is available, say, hey, Johnny, Jimmy, go get the AED. Tell them where it is if you know where it is, and hopefully they'll come and get it. I'm going to start CPR. Once I've alerted everybody and I'm starting my CPR, Hand placement right in the center of the chest. And I'm going to go and begin. So I am pumping until somebody comes. When the emergency personnel comes, they're going to take over. But I'm going to keep going until they tell me to stop. Okay? Once they say stop and get out of the way, then I'll get out of the way. Okay? So that is your CPR. Okay? That's your hands-only CPR. One is you made sure the scene was safe. Two, you've activated 911. And three, you started the CPR, hands only. And we're going to do that until exhaustion or until help arrives. And we're hoping that help arrives soon. Sooner the better. Okay? More time without oxygen. Okay? I'm going to step away for one other second to get some cables. Okay, the beauty of the AED is that once you turn it on, it walks you right through the steps. So it's kind of can't fail, but I always hate to say that because like when you're getting directions from somebody in a car, they're like, oh, you can't miss it. Well, I know I'm going to miss it because the directions probably weren't as good as they thought they were. But the AED, for this demonstration and for when you do it for yourself, for your video, I'm going to use my cell phone and 2 earbuds so that I can use the wires, okay? Very similar to the wires that we would have had with the AED. So let's say, for example, the AED arrives, okay? It's going to be my cell phone. The AED arrives, we set it down, and I turn it on. First step, it's in a bag, whatever it is, I turn it on. I get that thing working because once it's talking, it's going to tell me exactly what to do. Okay, it's going to say like expose the chest. So I open up their shirt and I expose their chest. I plug in my wires into the AED. Once I plug them in, I look for the placement. It's going to tell me, hey, you put one on the right chest, left chest, and one on the side. We are trying to get electronic shock to go through the body and hit the chest and the heart and hopefully get it restarted. Okay? When you have the electric charge on the body, nobody can be touching the body. So we're always going to be clear the body, clear the body. And the machine's going to tell me whether shock is advised. If you hear shock is advised, you're going to again say clear the body, make sure you aren't touching it, no one else is touching it. Then you're going to hit the button that says shock the body. And it will say, body is shocked. Then it will say analyzing heart rhythm. When it's analyzing the heart rhythm is when it's telling you, do you need to shock it again? Should you resume CPR? Okay, and if it says resume CPR, you're back pumping on the chest. Okay, staying alive, get that beat. Okay, if it says shock again, then you shock again. Okay? Biggest thing you have to understand are, one, do we know where an AED is on campus? Can you find it? If you find it, now, the best part is if you went to the nurse, if you went to Officer Morale and where they are in the ROTC, you go there, guess what? They're going to come with you. They're going to be health professionals. If somebody came down to the gym and they said, hey, Miss Doherty, we need help, let's get that AED go. Hey, I'm going to want to be part of it. I'm going to want to come back and I'm going to be the person to help him. Okay, so those are the kind of people you want to go to because maybe you don't feel comfortable doing it. Maybe you're not sure. Maybe you just aren't ready to do it. And that's understandable. This is a life or death situation and we're asking you to jump right into it. Okay, hopefully you'll have the skills and knowledge. Okay, understand we had a Bishop Kenny student who was in college and he ran into a situation where he needed CPR and no one knew it. No one knew how to do it. No one stepped up and he ended up passing. His parents came back to Bishop Kenny and said, hey, I don't want that situation to ever happen again. How can we guarantee the kids know how to do AED and CPR? So that's why we're teaching you this today. We want you to understand the importance of it that you have a hand in saving someone's life, and two, how to utilize it and use it. Okay? So, again, we'll start from the top. Emergency situation, I come around, hey, the scene is safe, the scene is safe. There's nothing here. I have people blocking traffic. I have him out of the road, whatever we need to do. Okay? Then I tap him on the shoulder. Are you okay? Are you okay? Then I look down and listen. Do I hear? Oh, he's not breathing. Okay? We're going to have to activate 911. If I have a phone or somebody else has a call, just tell them, hey, John, call 911. Tell them our situation. I'm going to begin CPR. So we get that. You get online. Here's our address. Get alert emergency personnel. I'm going to put the phone on speaker so that people can hear it. Okay? Then I told Susan, hey, go get the AED. She comes back and gets the AED. So I've already started my CPR on the body. Okay? And here comes the next person with the AED. I said, okay, they're ready to go. I said, hey, get it all set up. While they're getting it set up, I'm continuing CPR. Once they're ready to go, they've turned on the AED. They've plugged in the cables. It started talking to them, telling them what to do. Place the pads. I put my pads on the body. And then it will say analyzing data. And as it's analyzing data, I am just staying away from the body. Okay, because I don't want my charge for my heart to register on it. So I'm stepping away. It's analyzing data. Then it says shock advised. I click the button. Clear the body. Tell everyone to stay away from it. I hit the button. Shocks the body. You'll see it. It's going to bounce. It's going to shock that body. It will say continuing to analyze data. And hopefully it's saying that the heart is in rhythm and it's moving and it's pumping and it's doing everything that it's supposed to be doing. If it's not doing that, it's going to say resume CPR. And I continue with my CPR. And I'm going to be doing it until help arrives. Okay? And that machine, the AED, will keep talking to you. And as you're pumping, it's going to say, hey, analyzing data, analyzing data, analyzing data. Hey, shock advised. If they do that, again, hey, clear the body, step away, and let the machine do it. And then you hit the shock button. Okay? Once it's done, it will say analyze the data again. It's safe to touch the body. Hey, resume CPR. And we get right back on it. So, that was a short, quick lesson on CPR. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to save a body. Okay? What I did, I took a pillow, put a t-shirt on it, and I called it my mannequin. Okay? At these times, I wasn't able to go up to the school and get a mannequin. I can't get the AEDs, so we have to improvise. So we're going to do our best to have you create a video where you save a body. Okay? This is great knowledge to have. Okay? When we talk about knowledge that you've garnered throughout this school year, I always think the CPR lesson is one of our best. Okay? I've posted, I believe, a video from the American Heart Association, some short videos from Ken Jong, funny videos. I'll post the assignment and make sure that this video is linked to it. So, in your Schoology, make sure you're looking for my 2 videos from this week. We had the one on basketball, which you had a worksheet that's due on Tuesday. And this one will be due on Thursday night. Okay, the goal of my videos is 20 minutes. So I'm working hard to keep them right about 20 minutes and hopefully give you the knowledge you need to be successful. And I hope you enjoyed this video and have fun with it. CPR is a great skill to have, and I think if we all work together on it, we can be successful. The last key points I want you to remember: 1 is the scene is safe. 2, activate 911. 3, tell someone to go get an AED, and you begin CPR. If you have those steps going, I think we're going to be successful at hopefully saving a loved one or somebody in your life who needs CPR. Okay? Understand, we are the conduit till we get to the emergency professional. When they come, they take over. Okay? So I just want to make sure we understand the basic premise of what the goal is, what our job is, and have you feel comfortable understanding what the steps are. Because after high school, you're going to be in a situation in college or real life or work or military, wherever life's going to take you, that we're going to need people who understand what it takes to perform CPR and understand the AED system and the emergency personnel system. But have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.